Hello and welcome to this assembly which is going to talk you through the options process for Year 9 this year. My name is Paul Holt, I'm an assistant head teacher here at Primary School Lewes, and obviously I'm gutted that I cannot be delivering this as an assembly live to you as Year 9s and to you parents and carers who would be watching normally as you come into school. So this year is obviously going to be quite different. A lot of the options process is going to happen virtually. So I'm going to try my best to replicate the normal process, but by doing it online. And this assembly is the start of that. Every single pupil in Year 9 has already heard from myself or Mr. Ashworth, the Deputy Head Teacher this year, in talking about kind of pathways, choices, and where we're going from Year 9 to Year 11, and even beyond that. So I'm going to talk through today the following things. I'm going to talk about our Key Stage 4 curriculum, what our offer is to you over the next 2 years, our option subjects, our pathways, how you get there, what you're going to do, what qualifications you'll end up with, some tips for this process, and finally the timetable for making choices. Okay, because there are some key dates that you need to work with us to complete, because obviously we want you to be able to get the option that you would like to do. I'm aware that 15 minutes is quite a long time to stay focused on a video, so do feel free to just watch a little bit at a time or actually come back to certain points when you feel it is appropriate. So let's start first of all with our Key Stage 4 curriculum. There's two parts to it, our core subjects, the subjects that you have to do, and then our option subjects, the ones that you choose to do. What do we want our Key Stage 4 curriculum to be? Well, we want it to be broad. You know, some of you might dislike certain subjects, and that's fine. That's an opinion and a preference. But anyone with a bit of wisdom will tell you that you are so lucky to get the variety of subjects that you currently do. The good thing about our school is that you can do dance, then art, then drama, then some Latin, then go to science, then do PE. It's brilliant that our curriculum is that broad, okay? That is a good thing. I know you might not always feel like that if you're in Year 9, but grown-ups will always tell you that is good, and we really are ambitious, and we believe that a broad and balanced curriculum is key. It has to be individual. We're aware that all of you have different backgrounds, you have different life experiences, so as a school, our job is to try and help you as an individual have your needs met. It's got to be appropriate, like I said. It'd be silly you choosing a pathway that we knew might not be quite right for you. We've got to help you choose one that is appropriate for you. It's got to be motivating. You've got to want to do it. And every single subject teacher will tell you, please don't choose a subject that doesn't motivate you, because you won't want to put the effort in. And then finally, it's got to be enjoyable. We want you to enjoy the subjects you study. So here's the core curriculum. I said we've got two bits to our curriculum, core and option. So this is the core curriculum. For 4 hours a week next year, you'll do maths. 4 hours of English language and lit. Science combined is 5 hours a week. Critical thinking is 1 hour a week. So critical thinking is our religious studies program. It's also a PSHE and careers program, and that's 1 hour a week. And PE, which is also an hour a week. So out of your possible 25 hours, 15 of those are core subjects. And here are the other 10 hours. You could choose some of the following subjects. So there might be 2 there now that automatically grab your attention. I'm not going to read them all out, but you might choose to pause this and have a little look and think, oh, that sounds interesting, or oh, I'm intrigued to know a bit more about that. And also, for those that aren't doing GCSEs, we have GCSE equivalent courses, such as ASDAN, Creative iMedia, Health and Social Care, Home Cooking Skills, Music Tech, and Sports Studies. So we've got our GCSE subjects there, and then we have GCSE equivalent courses. The main thing that's going to help you over this process is that options booklet. Normally we print that out, but maybe this year is going to stop us being so wasteful with paper actually. Hopefully you've all been able to look at that quite large PDF file, which I've emailed to you, and you're going to be able to explore each one of these courses in a bit more detail. And then finally, our vocational qualifications. These are some of the subjects that you might choose to do if you're following that vocational pathway, where you might go to Plumpton College or East Sussex College for 1 day a week and study some of the following. There are, of course, some forbidden combinations. Okay, so for example, we don't let you do art and photography. We think there's too much crossover. Our job is to guide you in having a broad experience. So we don't want you to narrow your chances too early in life. We want you to try and be as broad as possible at this point. We also say you cannot do computer science and creative media and food prep and home cooking skills. This is often to do with the overlap. We obviously want you to have as good and broad experience as possible. Our school also aims to have above 80% of pupils achieving what we call the English Baccalaureate. Colleges also recognise this. It doesn't produce an extra snazzy certificate that says EBAC across the top, but it is a recognised qualification and performance measure that we as a school have to encourage you to try and aim for. So in order to achieve the EBAC, the English Baccalaureate, you obviously need to get your English, maths, science, a language and a humanities. But for some reason, it's been decided that only history or geography count as a humanity for the EBAC. It's not just about how many of you achieve it, but how many are entered for it as well. So this is what many of you, about 80 to 85% of you, will probably end up following this EBAC route. Languages, we're so lucky at our school that we don't just do one language, we offer up to 4 languages. So you could do GCSE French, GCSE German, GCSE Spanish, GCSE Latin, or for those of you that would like to try and do this, you could try and do the double language. This means that you will get 2 GCSEs, but you will have to complete each language in a year. So imagine you wanted to do GCSE French and GCSE Spanish. By the end of year 10, you've worked all the way through and done your GCSE French exam, and then you do your GCSE Spanish afterwards. So there might be a few of you that feel that you want to take that challenge, but otherwise we'd encourage you to be doing French, German, Spanish. And of course, as a Latin teacher, and Mr. Ashworth as a Latin teacher, we have an automatic bias towards Latin and say that it underpins, Spanish and French there. Anyway, if you're looking to go to higher education, university in particular, it's really important that you have one of these languages, okay? Humanities, these are the following humanities subjects, but remember, like I said, only geography and history count for the English Baccalaureate, so these would be one of your free option subjects, one of your free choices. So classics, for example, another great subject, RS, another good subject, sociology, and of course you all do critical thinking anyway as part of your core. I can see some of you are probably thinking, oh, sociology, what's that? We will have an opportunity to try out some of these lessons, probably virtually, based on the way this year is going, so that you'll have a bit more information as well. So there are 3 pathways you can take at our school. The general pathway, the EBAC pathway that we've just discussed, where you do English, maths, science, a language, a humanities, and then you've got 2 free choices to choose any other GCSE. The technical pathway, which are some of those other subjects I showed you, such as sports studies, food prep and nutrition, and then the vocational one, where you'd be doing one of those college courses, and then coming to school for 4 days a week. So there are general pathways, are kind of 3 main routes you could take. So this is the first one. It's the core curriculum plus a language choice, geography or history, and then you get 2 options. So you might say, oh, I'm going to do obviously my core subjects, I'm going to choose Spanish, I'm going to do history, and then I want to do drama and dance. Brilliant. You don't get any equivalent options. You have to do GCSEs for the general route, no vocational courses, no personal development course. The second one, our technical route, okay, it's the core curriculum, but only one GCSE option, but then you get to choose two GCSE equivalent options, and they'll probably be timetabled for Monday, okay? No, there's no language in this, no vocational, and no ASDAN. And finally, the vocational route. You get to choose just one GCSE option, but you're doing a full vocational course and the personal development ASDAN course. Some of you might want to be, if this is the kind of route you're interested in, pause this video now and find those pages in the booklet to learn a bit more about them. The thing with the vocational route is you don't do a language, you will not do geography or history, and of course no GCSE equivalent courses. So think carefully, and hopefully someone would have advised you perhaps that this is the route for you if you're doing vocational. All vocational qualifications are level 1, okay? All are worth 2 GCSE equivalents at level 1, and none are suitable for level 2 learners. So like I've said, there will not be many of you doing this vocational route, and you probably would have been guided towards it. And just to give you an idea, obviously this is GCSE levels, okay? A level 2 distinction is that, level 2, level 1. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but do feel free to pause this and try and digest that. So just to remind you, okay, number of GCSEs are equivalents. Those of you doing the general route, you'll get between 9 and 10 GCSEs. Those of you doing the technical route, 9, vocational, 9. So it's broadly balanced. So this is our options blocks, okay? This is how we build up your timetable next year. So your language blocks, you get 5 lots of 1-hour lessons a fortnight, same with humanities, and then these are your options, okay? These are the two sort of subjects you can choose, which are your free options. You can have a look down there. These are our equivalents. It tells you the time waiting there, and our vocational. But remember, the vocational is taught at college, so is 1 full day a week at college. So, what do we do next? Well, hopefully you're reading through that options booklet and you've started to explore some of the subjects. But what we need to start doing is getting an idea of what your preferences are early on. It's really important that with the options form, it is a preference, okay? As a school, we have a job to provide you with guidance to guide you towards the most appropriate pathway. And there's no guarantee that you're going to get all the choices that you want. Our job is to help you try and get there, but also guide you for things that you should or perhaps should not be exploring. So I'm going to show you roughly how this might work. Okay, let's start first of all with the general route. Imagine you've decided, you've looked through the booklet and you've said to your parent or carer, the general route is for me. So let's look how that could perhaps build up. So imagine I've ticked general route because that's what I'm going to do. I've decided I definitely want to choose DT as one of my options. I definitely want to do triple science. That means that you'll have 3 GCSEs, chemistry, biology, and physics as all separate GCSEs. But I've also thought, hang on a minute, if I don't get DT, I'm happy to do photography. So I put it as a reserve. I've then got to choose one language. I've decided I really like Spanish, but I don't mind having to have 3 hours or so with Mr. Holt a week if not. So I've put Latin as a reserve. I obviously am not putting anything as technical or vocational because I'm choosing the general route, and I've decided on geography. Let's look at the next one. Imagine I want to do the technical route. I'm only allowed to choose 1 and mark 1 for a reserve. So I'm going to do drama. But in case I don't get drama, I'm happy with photography. I then, because I'm doing the technical route, I'm choosing from this block. Okay? I'm doing home cooking skills, health and social care, but if I don't get health and social care, I'm happy with PE sports studies. And of course, I'm going to choose humanity as well, and I've opted for geography. And then finally, for those of you doing the vocational, here is an example. I've ticked vocational, I'm doing hairdressing for a whole day, but if I don't get hairdressing, I'm all right with travel and tourism. and I'm also happy with sociology as my GCSE. But if I don't, and like I was saying, if I don't get sociology, I'm happy with photography. So this is kind of what the final form would look like. But what we would like to consider now is how we build up to knowing about those selections. So, in making your choices, use that options booklet. Don't try and read it all at once, that'd be mad. Okay, look at certain subjects, maybe look at a subject or two a day that interests you. Speak to your parent or carer, email the teachers, okay? And there's great pages in this booklet about how to make your choices. It helps you go through kind of like 8 steps to make you consider exactly what you want to do and whether it's suitable for you. Think about what motivates you now in year 9. What subjects do you love? I know it's hard that remote learning is currently going on, but try and think about when you're in the classroom, what is it that motivates you? Think about your further and higher education choices as well. So for example, if you are destined to be a fantastic scientist that's going to find vaccines, etc., you should probably be doing some sort of sciences, shouldn't you? Okay, maybe triple science. So think about your long-term pathways. No one's asking you to decide on a career at the age of 14, but you probably might have some general preferences for things you would like to do. Do some research, speak to the teachers, but do a bit of research yourself. Find out as much as possible about those subject choices. In the options booklet, there is a page for every subject, but perhaps speak to others that have done it. If you've got siblings or relatives, you can ask a cousin, oh, what is GCSE Classics like, for example. Like I said, talk to pretty much everyone, staff, parents, other students. Listen to your teachers. If, for example, your teacher says, you know, I'm not sure this is for you, press them on that, say why, have a discussion about it. We also have a careers advisor, and we will try and get some information out about virtual appointments, because obviously we cannot have you meeting people in school at the moment, so we'll consider about how we do that. There'll probably be a follow-up email in the near future. So here is our timetable for options. We're already working with you, kind of giving you advice, hopefully. The options booklet is being issued today. You've got this video, and you've also got the form. We're going to have online taster sessions. Unfortunately, we cannot have you having the subjects in school at the moment, so we're going to perhaps ask each teacher to run a session. You sign up for that session and learn a bit more, for example, about sociology, photography, media studies, those subjects that you haven't done in Key Stage 3. This is the important one. I want to get your preferences, okay, on Monday the 1st of February. Please feel free to fill it in beforehand, okay? But I have sent you a link to a Microsoft Forms. And on that form, I would like you to basically tell me what you're indicating you want to do. So you tell me, I want to do this, this, and this. And what that will do is that gives me a month or two to consider whether that is feasible. The dummy run, okay, is just it's like a fake version, okay? It just gives me a hint of what you're looking to do, and it can also help me advise you if it's the correct pathway for you. On the 23rd of February, we have got Year 9 Parents' Evening, where you can also check, you can speak to those subject teachers, learn a little bit more about what it's like at GCSE, and your parent and carer can also ask some questions to that teacher as well. Friday the 5th of March is the absolute final deadline to get these forms in. I'm hoping we'll be in school so that you can bring the paper version in, which we'll give you in your tutor wallets. But the very final forms, okay, they are Friday the 5th of March, okay, and they're the final ones. And then finally, on Thursday the 1st of April, I'll let you know what options you got. If you don't get your first choice, me or Mr. Ashworth will speak to you and we'll look for an alternative. So, the next thing, you've read the booklet, you've watched this video, you've discussed with your parents, and the next thing I'd like you to do is fill in the Microsoft Forms. Looks like this. So you write your name in, tell me what route you want to do, and then I've given you specific instructions. You just pick, you click the ones you want to do, and then you submit the form. And that will give me some information. So parents or carers, if you're watching, make a note on the calendar now or in your phones. Monday the 1st of February. The link to the form is in the child's inbox, and I'll probably send it to parents and carers as well. And please make sure that you're getting that back to me by Monday, the 1st of February. And it looks like this. Okay, there are some instructions there as you go through, and then when you click submit, I will get that information. Okay, and that helps me map out what it is that we can offer for next year. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me at paul.holt@priory.e-sussex.sch.uk. I hope you're all well, and like I said, at any point, speak to your teachers, speak to one another, and here's one of the key things, and I said it to you when I was going around to tutor groups: don't just do a subject because your friend is doing it, okay? Because for all you know, you might end up in a completely different class from them next year, so keep that in mind. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.